It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and feel your mind.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Tuesday, February 7th, and this is the Morning Star Drive on 117.8. We're on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe, follow us on SoundCloud, and make sure to support us on Patreon. So what is happening on this wonderful Tuesday? We've got current news from around the world. It is the practical word study, and of course, Provi in the media. All right, everyone, how are you doing today? Yes, it is Tuesday, and for me, it is actually literally Tuesday in Malaysia too. It is past midnight, and I'm recording this, and it's been a long day, but I hope you guys are enjoying your week. Monday's in the books now, and just really thankful for all you guys joining us here on the Morning Star Drive. So keep liking, commenting. If you're in front of your phone right now, just click that like button. Just click it. Whether it's on SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever it is, just click that like button. That just shows me that you're appreciating the work that's being done here. And, if you want to go one step further, go ahead, leave a comment, or comment on other people's comments, or like other people's comments, and that would be great too. All right, so yes, it is past midnight. It's like 12:13 a.m. on Tuesday. So this should be posted up within the next, 4 or 5 hours. And I am exhausted. It's been a long day. Like, I didn't even know, but Chinese New Year ended on Sunday, right? And then Monday, guess what Monday was? Monday was another holiday. Like, I don't know what it is, but I think Malaysians like holidays because there's like a holiday, there's a holiday 2-3 times a month. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how, I'm surprised people stay in business because everyone goes on holiday all the time. Like, it's like a federal holiday. So today was a holiday. And, guys, tell me if you've ever had this before. I knew that today was a holiday. Like, they told me the day before, and they're like, okay, so the person I'm staying, the house I'm staying at, they said, hey, let's go for breakfast tomorrow. I was like, okay, so I got breakfast tomorrow. So we're probably going to go at around 9 or 10 a.m. So I was like, okay. So after that, I gonna go meet another friend, kind of like an extended Chinese New Year. Gonna meet some old friends, so that's gonna be like right after. So that's gonna be okay. And then later at night, I'm gonna be meeting some of the campus members. I'm like, okay, so my night is gonna be pretty packed. So what I need to do is I have got to wake up early, go exercise. After exercise, come back, wash up, get all the stuff ready, go out for breakfast, come back, record, and then go out and meet my friends, and then go and meet the campus, and then come back really late. Now, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever planned the day, but it never goes to plan? I was like, I don't know why. I was so tired in the morning. Well, I have been ever since I got back from vacation, but I got so tired. And I was, you just kind of you sit there just lying in bed. It's like 7 o'clock. And you're like, okay, you know what? I should get up right now. I should exercise, or I should at least prepare the podcast before I go out for breakfast, which is going to be in about anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, right? So I sat there kind of just thinking to myself, and one thing leads to another, and one thought leads to another thought, and it's already 8 a.m. So it's 8 a.m. and I go out and I'm like, I don't have time to exercise. So I start to prepare my podcast. And while I'm preparing my podcast, my friend is there and we're just chatting away. And I don't get that done. Go out for breakfast, come back from breakfast. And I forgot I had another schedule. So I couldn't even record because I had another schedule. And that schedule went for about another hour. And by the time that hour finished, I had only enough time to prepare my podcast. And then the day started again, 3 o'clock. It ends at 7, then 7:30 dinner. And then I didn't even get home till 11:30 p.m. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I still have to record. I'm not sure about you guys. Write in the comments below. Have you guys ever had that? You know the day's busy. You've got to start it early. You've got to get things done. And it just doesn't pan out. I'm not sure if that's every day, but for me, it was I had the day all lined up. And here I am, past midnight, doing this recording. So I'm just man, what a day. But I'm very grateful and thankful. Just had a really fun time. Just meeting a lot of members and stuff. Meeting the campus is really, really fun too. And the campus, we went for shabu shabu or steamboat. And after we went to a cafe and we started playing games. And it just reminds me of my youth. There's this, you go to this buffet, all you can eat steamboat, and you just, it's a 2 hour time limit. I didn't know we were going to stay there the entire 2 hours. Like, I was sitting there like I was done within the first 35, 40 minutes. I was done. These campus kids eat until the 2 hours is over, and they're like still eating. And I'm like, you guys sure you can go for? They're like, oh, we have extra stomach for dessert. I was like, oh my goodness. And then we go, and I was like, yeah, it's just really fun seeing these campus kids, because it just reminds me of when I was that young, how much energy, how my like metabolism, how much I ate, all that was like, yeah, it's just fun to watch, right? And, these kids are pretty much at the age, like if I had children, they're pretty much at that age. So they're like my children, I guess. As funny as that sounds. Either way, so that's why my schedule was so busy. Oh, by the way, in 2 days we have Q&A Thursday. Get your questions ready for this week. There's a lot of questions coming about this Sunday message, right? So if you guys have any of those questions, just go ahead, pop them in. I would love to hear it and be able to help you guys out and answer as many as I can. And, I enjoy the question answer Thursday, and I try to answer as many as I can. Some of them I might not be able to answer, but most of them I probably heard sometime in my life, in my 25 years in Providence too. So, yeah, for me, like I said before, I'm still, I don't know why. Like, that was my poll question is, how tired are you? Right? Or, no, sorry, how long does it take for you to recover? And it looks like the number one answer is few days. And for me, I'm already on week 1. Like, week 1 is just finishing today. And I'm still affected by it. So I think I'm going to put few weeks, right? 1 to 2 weeks. I think that's what it's going to be. And but that's second answer with 36%, right? So number 1 is few days, which I probably think is the younger people, and 36% for few weeks. 12% is still struggling, LOL. So, and then about a month is 8%, and few months is 4%. So I'm glad the lowest is few months, because that is a really, really long time. But it's something that we all got to deal with. And as we get, we need to be able to adjust ourselves to different situations. And more, I think the biggest thing is we should be able to keep our life of faith wherever we go, even on vacation stuff too. But I'm glad you guys are asking those questions. Answering that poll. Like, even for me, I'm already planning another trip to Bangkok, like this month. Like, and this one is more of a work trip. Work trip meaning I'm going on a coffee tour. Like, I'm exhausted, and like, isn't that kind of weird? I'm exhausted from my vacation, and then I decide to go on another vacation while I'm exhausted from my other. I don't know if that really makes sense. However, I am very happy and excited to go on a coffee tour. I am very happy. I hope it goes through. I hope I can have that just one weekend of heading out with some of the guys over here. So yeah, like I said, really interesting message this week. A lot of people texting, asking what it means. And, I talked about it during the Monday word study. I kind of touched on it, but I hope that we'll be able to resolve a lot of these questions and the thoughts in our head, understand the situation that is happening, and to be able to comprehend everything much better. And, I'm going to just tell you guys, one of the things you should do, I'll probably talk about during the word study, is start looking at what happened in the early church times too. Like, know what happened during the most extreme situations, and you'll see, remember, it's a parallel, it's a mirror history, it's a repeating history, so you can kind of get an idea what is happening right now too. And it's going to be just like the early church. So I hope it's something that you guys will be able to research on your own, and not just, I'm going to tell you this, I don't think it's a good idea just to be relying on Question 8 Thursday, but I do think you guys should look at your question, do some research, and then from your research, start asking questions. And I think that will be a lot healthier for you guys too. Today is also Provi in the media. It's February 13th isn't trial, which is exactly a week from today, I believe. And, we're going to go over some stuff today about the timeline on the press releases about Sunsleep over the last, I would say, probably over the last 20 some odd years, 23, 24 years. We're going to go over some of the press releases and just show you guys what the media has been like to Sunsleep over the last 23, 24 years since 1999. So that is something I do want to go over so you guys can kind of get a timeline and see how things have been happening, right? So that I will go over that for Provi in the media. All right, so let's get this show started. Let's get into today's featured artist of the day on this amazing and awesome Tuesday. So we're going to start off, and yesterday I did a Japanese show, all Japanese songs. Today I'm going to do all English songs, right? All English songs. And these are going to be from America, Australia, New Zealand, all Western countries. So we'll start off with the Somni Boys from America with Facepalm. And then we'll go Rapture Collective from Australia with Till the End featuring Sky. And then we'll end things off with Jew Star from New Zealand with Busy Bee.
I was sitting on the ground, few feet across from you. Then my brain shut down. Who am I? Oh no, I wrote all the things I wanted to say, but my tongue went hiding in, ran away. Oh no, now you're looking at me like I'm somebody crazy. Swear I'm just a normal person. Okay, maybe I have all your pictures on my wall in my room, my telephone, my bathroom, on my mama too. Oh, I wish it was easy to tell you my feelings. I don't want you looking at me like I'm silly. I'm so down when you give cold shoulder to me. I get excited when you always call out to me. What you feel about that? All the times I've been, don't say what I feel, give myself a face palm. Should I say something? I don't know, man. What should I do? I just want you to know me, want you to notice me. There's a lot on my mind, but it's processing so slowly. I had to sit back down, I couldn't really even think. I felt so stupid, I was just looking at you and you was looking at me like dang. I really just lost my chance, lost to a poem with a snack in my hand. I was just so down, man, I felt like a clown, couldn't even let it go that I frozen up again. Felt like I failed, but I've never given up. Took a big L and I didn't come with clutch. It's something about you that gets me all stuck. You made me so nervous, like I wish it was easy to tell you my feelings. I don't want you looking at me like I'm silly. I'm so down when you give cold shoulder to me. I get excited when you always call out to me. What you feel about that? All the times I've been, don't say what I feel, give myself a face palm. I'm so down when you give cold shoulder to me. I get excited when you always call out to me. What you feel about that? All the times I've been, don't say what I feel, give myself a face palm. I can do it again. Give myself a face palm. Next time we'll work, it will be different. Give myself a face palm. I wish I can do it again. Give myself a face palm. Next time we'll work, it will be different. Give myself a face palm. I wish I can do it again. Maybe next time we'll work, it will be different. I wanna tell you what I've been holding in. Maybe next time we'll work, it will be different. Face, palm, face. Give myself a face, palm, face. Give myself a face, palm, face. Give myself a face, palm, face. Give myself a
The Babylon bee is too busy to cry, buzzing away, looking for a flower to duck and hide, a worker or a queen. Sometimes I feel like it's the same thing, a princess asleep on a pea. Put off by the smallest of sufferings, but I'm still working on me. If I'm honest, I feel so strange, a fish without water, a cranium without a brain, looking so good for the cameras, but feeling so very average. Where else can I go? There's only one river where living water flows. I already know the answer, the problem is throwing my own hope. When I'm in the water and on the boat, both the following sheep and also the goat. I'm in the water and on the boat, both the following sheep If I'm honest, I like routine. Like to go swimming and slip in cups of tea. Like seeing blanks in my schedule and filling them with my own woes. Now I'm overthrown and all around me are the people who can't do wrong. I smile and try to let it go. The problem is giving myself hope. To find a mountain where I can scream. I need a place to do my own thing. I need a cave where I can sing and it's funny. There's no one to judge me and I can try this way or that. I don't have to worry about falling flat. But there's work to do. Is this even work too? Who can decide? Is it me? Is it you? Is it God? How far would I go if I could? I go far slower than I should. I'm only as good as how much I produce. Squeeze on my brain and pour out the juice. As much as I grind my nose in the ground, but nobody knows, they don't notice I'm down. I haven't been busy enough. I'm floating too far off. In the water, when on the floor, both the following shaker, so gold. In the water, when on the floor, both the following shaker, so gold. There's a looking over my shoulder. There's all my next stairs, gets colder. There's a over my shoulder, there's all my next status, it gets colder. There's a looking over my shoulder, there's all my next status, it gets colder. There's a looking over my shoulder, there's all my next status, it gets colder. There's a looking over my shoulder, there's all my next status. The bumbling bee is too busy to cry, buzzing away, looking for a flower to tuck and hide, a worker or a queen. Sometimes I feel like it's the same thing, a princess asleep on a pea, poured off by the swallows of sufferings, but I'm still working on me.
And that was Juice Star from New Zealand with Busy Bee. Before that, Rapture Collective from Australia with Till the End featuring Sky. And of course, feature artist of the day, that is the Sumney Boys from America with Facepalm. Now, let's get into some news going on around the world. And, one of the things, the benefits of me having this, recording this really, really late, like very, very close to the time I'm supposed to send out this podcast, is I'm able to get the latest of the latest news. And this is just breaking. And one of my friends actually sent me this over Instagram. I didn't know it was happening. And it is major, it is serious, a big earthquake in Turkey and Syria. More than 2,300 are dead so far, and the numbers are going to keep going up. And a rescue operation is underway across much of southern Turkey and northern Syria following this earthquake 7.8 magnitude. It struck near Gaziantep in the early hours of Monday while people were asleep. And those guys who want to know just how powerful a 7.8 magnitude earthquake is. The atomic bomb in Hiroshima, it's like 32 of those. That's how big a 7.8 magnitude is. That's how much power is being released. Now, see, that was early in the morning, right? Early hours of Monday. And then another aftershock, 7.5 magnitude, hit around 1:30 p.m. local time, which officials said was not an aftershock. The country's disaster agency says some 1,500 people were killed in Turkey alone after the first quake, and more than 5,300 were wounded. Syrian authorities are reporting 810 dead and more than 2,000 injured. Rescuers are racing to save people trapped beneath the rubble after hundreds of buildings collapsed in both countries. I believe the last number I heard was 8,000 buildings collapsed during those two earthquakes. World leaders have pledged to send aid after Turkey issued an international appeal for help. Millions of people across Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Cyprus, and Israel felt the earthquake. So our prayers go out to them. That is Massive news. By the time you hear this, which is going to be about another 4 or 5 hours later, that number is going to be even higher than 2,300. So there's the first news. Another just terrible news. In over the weekend, avalanches killed 10 people in Austria and Switzerland. 10 people have been killed in several avalanches across the Austrian and Swiss Alps over the weekend. Tourists from New Zealand, China, and Germany were among the dead at a number of different ski resorts. Austrian authorities put in place a level 4 avalanche alert, the second highest following intense snowfall and wind in the area. And despite the warnings, ski resorts in Western Austria have been filling up due to school holidays in Vienna. Austrian police announced 5 deaths on Sunday, including that of a 59-year-old man who was using a snowplow in the western region of Tyrol. And they also recovered the bodies of a ski guide in Sankt Anton am Arlberg and a 62-year-old man who was cross-country skiing around the summit of Hohafner. On Saturday, a 17-year-old New Zealander, a 32-year-old Chinese national, and a German man in his 50s, who were all said to be skiing off designated ski trails when avalanches hit, were also found dead. In Switzerland, a 56-year-old woman and 52-year-old man were also killed by unstable snow in the southeast canton of Graubünden. And that was on Saturday morning. Swiss police said a third member of their group managed to escape unharmed. Avalanches are common in both countries, according to Austria's APA news agency, and 30 avalanches were reported in the Tyrol region on Saturday alone, 11 of these involving people. Austria's level 4 alert level means very large avalanches are likely, and it advises inexperienced skiers to remain on open ski runs and trails, and for experienced skiers to stay away from very steep terrain. So it's just more and more sad news piling up on top of each other. Last but not least, we'll go into Russia and the Ukraine. And it seems like the Ukraine Defense Minister Oleg Reznikov says Russia will launch a major offensive in the coming weeks, but Ukraine has the soldiers and resources to repel such an attack. Ukraine's allies will agree to provide fighter aircraft to battle Russian forces, which we originally heard they were not going to do. And the defense minister said, despite recent comments by Western leaders that warplanes would not be forthcoming, he's saying that it's already going to happen. Defense Minister Reznikov also told a news conference on Sunday that Russia will launch a major offensive in the coming weeks, but Ukraine has that the Ukraine military will halt the operations despite tanks and other weapon systems from the West not arriving in time. Right, so they're not going to come in time for this offensive that's supposed to be happening at the end of this month. But this Reznikov was very confident, saying that there will be planes too. The question is just what kind exactly. So you have to consider that this mission is already completed and they're going to get planes. So it seems like they've been talking to other leaders and planes are going to be sent. We just don't know when and who's going to send them and what planes are going to be sent. So far, Ukraine has won support from Baltic nations and Poland in its quest to obtain Western fighter jets, but several Western leaders have expressed concern that providing warplanes could provoke the Kremlin and draw their countries deeper into the conflict, which has cost tens of thousands of lives and wreaked massive destruction. Kyiv says such jets are essential to challenging Russia's air superiority and ensuring success in a Russian offensive that Reznikov predicted could begin around the war's one-year anniversary, February 24th. He said not all Western weapons will arrive by then, but we have the resources and reserves to help stabilize and sustain the offensive. Now, since the war began, Western officials have balked at some of Ukraine's requests, such as for longer-range missiles and tanks, but only to agree later. So the warplanes are the latest example. Like the U.S. confirmed on Friday that a new rocket doubling Ukraine's strike range was included in a $2.2 billion U.S. military aid package to help Kyiv fight back Russian forces. And one of the things that they have promised, though, Ukraine has promised, is they told all their partners officially that they will not use weapons supplied by foreign partners to fire on Russian territory. We only fire on Russian units on temporarily occupied Ukrainian territory. So that should be quite interesting. And German-made tanks are on the way to Ukraine. Reznikov said his forces would begin training on the Leopard 2 tanks in Europe on Monday before their delivery to Ukraine. And so far, Canada, Poland, Germany, Britain, and the United States have announced they will supply tanks to the Ukraine. Now, the Kremlin has said Western countries' supply of increasingly sophisticated weapons will only prolong the conflict, and it has characterized NATO as a direct participant in the war. So that is something that is quite scary, because the one thing everyone is really scared about is if it gets out of hand and Russia gets desperate, the thing that people are worried about is, will it turn to nuclear weapons? Like, that's the thing that everyone's kind of worried about. Like, if they're like desperate enough, are they going to be able to throw? Are they going to throw these nukes at Ukraine or other countries? So that is something to keep an eye on. So that is a top 3 news around the world, and our prayers go out to all the people, Turkey, Syria, and also in the Swiss Alps where the avalanches have happened, right? But keep your eyes peeled on what's happening with this earthquake in Turkey and Syria. All right. So let's move into some sporting news, which some of the girls already said they're not listening to. So guess what? This is not for you, girls. You guys don't have to listen to this. So let's start with the NBA, and it looks like the Brooklyn Nets have already found a trading partner for Kyrie Irving. And it looks like he's going to the Dallas Mavericks. So it looks like the Brooklyn Nets will trade Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks, and in return, they'll get Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, an unprotected 2029 first-round pick, and second-round picks in 2027 and 2029, right? And then in exchange, the Dallas Mavericks will get Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris. Now, the Nets plan to offer the picks acquired in the trade as well as their 2027 first-round pick via the Philadelphia 76ers in trade talks to try to improve the roster ahead of the Thursday trade deadline. So let's see what Brooklyn Nets do with everything that they have. In second news, we'll get into some soccer. Harry Kane, record-breaking goal, helps Tottenham edge Man City 1-0. So big upset there. And it was a big game actually for Manchester City. They could have gained 3 more points on Arsenal because they lost 2, but it seems that it's going to stick with like a 5-point spread. So that's good news for Arsenal. But Harry Kane became Spurs' all-time leading scorer when he sent his side into the lead on 15 minutes after finding an inch of space inside the City box and dispatched a strike finish past goalkeeper Ederson. In other news in Spain, Real Madrid suffer a big major setback in La Liga title bid after shock defeat at Mallorca. They suffered a 1-0 defeat to Mallorca, which is a big upset. And Mallorca took the lead in the 13th minute through a bizarre own goal from, guess what his name is? His name is Nacho. So, like, go figure, right? And the whole game, Real Madrid had 75% of possession and 20 shots, where Mallorca only had 4. So now that they lost, Barcelona can extend their lead at the top of the table, which they did. They beat Sevilla, and now they are up by 8 points, and it's getting out of reach for Real Madrid. Last but not least, it is a break week for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is actually next weekend, but during this time, there is the NFL Pro Bowl. They have a brand new format. It was great. NFC, AFC flag football game was 35-33 for the NFC. It was revamped, the Pro Bowl games. There's no tackling, but it was really, really fun to watch. And the NFC captures the honor, winner of the Pro Bowl games, and basically big performances from Kirk Cousins and also San Francisco 49ers tight end George Kittle and fullback Kyle Juszczyk. Guess what the winning team gets? All the NFC players take home $84,000 for that fun game of the Pro Bowl. And the AFC, all the players will receive $42,000 instead. Right, so that's not bad for a 1 day's paycheck. Either way, so there it is, guys. That is the top 3 news in sports and world news, and I hope it's something that really helps you to pray and repent for what is happening all over the world. All right, so there it is, guys. That's news. That's news for all of us here to know, and you know what that means. It is the golden time. Yes, this is the golden time, a time of praise and worship to the Holy Trinity. Hope all of you guys are looking forward to giving glory to God and the Holy Spirit. So, what are we going to praise and worship today? Today we're going to start with Go Higher and Higher, and then Everyone in Every Time Period, and we'll break things down with I Have Only God. So, as one body of the Morning Star Drive, let's spend this time giving praise, honor, and glory to the Holy Trinity.
You are dazzling, led by the Holy Spirit. You are changing in the best way. Look at me. I'm dazzling, led led by the word of truth. I know my destiny is changing. Go higher and higher while throwing out my thoughts. Go higher and higher, taking action on His will. Go higher and higher, beyond the limit. That's how I can really truly love myself in the best way. We have transformed. We are awesome for sure. Let's climb the highest heights, go higher and higher.
Don't stop and just keep going.
Transforming, awesomely, go higher. Na 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 na.
Yeah. Look at you, look at me. Everyone is shining, that's the walls that block you and me. With the Lord, we'll break right through them. When we can do no more, the secret is doing more. There are no limits here, we're not with no limit. Don't stop, it just keep going. You changed a lot, so gotta keep growing. Started from the bottom, now we're going to the highest. The Lord, He takes me to the Trinity.
Rise up on the rest, go high, changing for the best.
Go high,
Rise up on the rest,
go high,
changing for the best.
go high,
Rise up on the rest,
go high,
changing for the best.
go high,
Rise up on the rest,
go high,
transforming, awesomely.
go high.
Go higher and higher while throwing out my thoughts. Go higher and higher, taking action on His will. Go higher and higher, beyond the limit. That's how I can really truly love myself in the best way. We have transformed. We are awesome for sure. Let's climb the highest heights, go higher and higher.
Don't stop and just keep going.
Transforming, awesomely, go high. We have transformed. We are awesome for sure. Let's climb the highest heights, go higher and higher.
Don't stop and just keep going.
Transforming, awesomely, go high. Rise above the rest, go high. Changing for
never forsaking me. You are my help. Mighty God, I am yours to love evermore. Mighty God, I am yours, your bride for all time. From all the world you've chosen me, and now I have firmly set my mind. I will certainly live according to your will. Mighty God, I am yours to love evermore. Mighty God, I am yours, your bride for all time. From all the world you've chosen me, and now I have firmly set my mind. So I certainly will fulfill your will, my God. You're my Jehovah God, who has led me this far. Please lead me all the way. I'm calling on you alone and living by only your word. With all your authority and your power, you constantly help me. With all your authority and your power, you keep me from harm. You are with me all the time, always giving me strength and hope. I've nothing to fear, because I only look to my God. You're my Jehovah God, who has led me this far. Please lead me all the way. I'm calling on you alone and living by only your word. With all your authority and your power, you constantly help me. With all your authority and your power, you keep me from harm. You are with me all the time, always giving me strength and hope. I've nothing to fear, because I only look to my God. With all your authority and your power, you constantly help me. With all your authority and your power, you keep me from harm. With all your authority and your power, you constantly help me. With all your authority and your power, you keep me from harm. You are with me all the time, always giving me strength and hope. Have nothing to fear, because I only look to my God. Have nothing to fear, because I only look to my God. Have nothing to fear, because I only look to my God.
And that was I Have Only God. Before that, Everyone in Every Time Period, oldie but a goodie. And of course, Go Higher and Higher. All right, so now that our hearts are made prepared through the time of praise and worship, let's get into today's practical word study. And there's two things I really think that's going to be very beneficial to many of us when it comes to understanding the word a little bit better. And there's a couple things that we can do. For instance, number one is we can compare the words that we've heard this week with other messages that we've heard over the last couple of weeks or even in the past, right? Because one of the big questions people are going to ask is, it looks like everything has changed. What is Sunstein saying? Is he saying this? Is he saying that? And like I said on the Monday word study is, you don't ever want to assume anything. And you don't ever think like, because he said this, it means this. And the answer is no. That's the wrong way to look at it. Always compare to different the other messages that you've heard on Sundays in the past, right? And the second thing I think is a very, very good thing for us to do is to look at like the repeating history or parallel history. So repeating history or parallel history could mean that what happened, let's just say, in a similar time in Providence, was there something like this that happened before, like a certain type of message like this? And the second thing is look at the parallel of Christian history also. Right, so the very first thing that I think that everyone should be doing, and I think this because this is parallel history that we're looking at, repeating history, is study early Christian church history, right? Look at the problems that they faced, see how many times a church shifted direction, right? Understand how situation, circumstance does make a difference in how the faith is conducted, right? If situation, circumstance doesn't change or shift the way Christianity was actually done in the early Christian church, they would have never gone to the catacombs, right? They would have never hidden their faith, right? They would have never even switched to a different direction of martyrdom instead, right? So I really think that studying the early Christian church is a great idea, like the first 300 to 400 years. Look at the four major different types of persecutions that Christianity went through. How did the church react to it too? And that's something that you should look at, right? Because you might think to yourself like, hey, why is Providence changing? And the answer is Providence is not changing. We're just shifting in a different direction for certain things, right? We're shifting. It's a small shift. And if you look in the early Christian church and see the small shifts or the major shifts they had during like mass tribulation or really difficult times, you'll have a better idea that, this is a normal thing, right? A lot of times people say, hey, are we completely changing direction? And the answer is absolutely not. The whole purpose is to fulfill the will of God. And in fulfilling the will of God, there's going to be little shifts to the left and to the right. But we're all moving towards that same goal, right? So when you look at Christianity, see if Christianity has always been the same, has always conducted themselves the same. Or have they changed and shifted with time, situation, circumstance, right? Look at when did Christianity shift? In what situations and what circumstances did Christianity shift? And how does that, if it's a repeating history, how does that compare to Providence today? Right? Look at the current situation, the current circumstance, and see how it measures up with Christianity and what happened in the early Christian church and how does it measure up, right? And then on top of that, I would even say, take a look at what Providence and the messages that came out in 2008, 2009, and you'd be like, wait, this looks familiar. This looks very familiar, where people were getting confused once again during that time, right? So we have to be able to understand history really well. If you weren't there in 2008 or 2009, you guys can talk to other people who were there. I say 2007, 2008, maybe up to 2009. That's during the time of the trial and stuff like that too. And when you see that, you're going to see a very, very similar message, and the core of Providence did not change. Right? So that's my first thing, is take a look at, like I said, to understand it really well, to know what is really happening, what's the message really saying. Has there been a massive monumental shift? And the answer is absolutely not. Take a look at early Christian church for repeating history. Take a look at Providence history and what came out in the Word when something similar happened, like in 2007 to 2009. And then also take a look at the other parts of the Word and see what the Word is actually saying, and don't try to put words into Don't try to assume what the word is actually saying, right? And you'll have a much better idea like, oh, I get it now. I get what's going on, okay? The second thing I would say that would especially with this week's messages, I would definitely go over the Holy Son lesson again, right? Go deep into the lesson of the Holy Son. And many questions should be answered if you study it well. Ask a lot of good questions to your leaders. Like even for me, I was thinking to myself because a question came out, question answer Thursday, and I wasn't really sure about, did Jesus go up with the Holy Son during the ascent? And I thought to myself, it's like, oh, man, I'm not really sure. But when you kind of look at the role that Jesus is playing, just the feeling is Jesus did go up at the same time for the Advent also. Right, that's just my feeling, I think, right? But that's just going from the messages that I've heard. I couldn't guarantee anything like that, but you get better ideas of, oh, okay, this must be what is going on, right? So go deep into the lesson of the Holy Son, right? The original and the branch entity. Many questions will be answered, or you'll get closer to an answer like, oh, I think I'm starting to get what this means, right? Look at the relationship of Jesus and the Holy Son. Why does Jesus come back with the Holy Son for the Lord's second coming? For what reason? What is the purpose? What is the goal, right? Because he's not going to be the actual literal Savior on the earth like he was in the first coming, but he will be more in the role of the Holy Son instead, right? Of the first coming, because he's coming as the Spirit. So what role does Jesus have in the Lord's second coming? Try to figure that out. What role does the man of mission have in the Advent history? And compare that to the first coming too, right? And you're going to get a much clearer idea of, oh, this is what it means. So then another one you want to take a look at, and this is one of the questions that came up 2 weeks ago, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago in the Q&A Thursday was, the Proverbs actually said that people of the former faith cannot tell if they are, if they were able to see Jesus, if New Testament believers are able to see Jesus in a dream or vision or whatever, they cannot tell the difference between the New Testament Jesus and the complete Testament Jesus. They just can't, right? They don't know that Jesus, they don't know that it's the Jesus of the Lord's second coming. Now, what's the difference of the Lord's second coming Jesus and the first coming Jesus? Would absolutely be levels, right? And the second coming Jesus will be coming as the bridegroom. So when we understand this, it's not that it's a different person. It's just the level is different. When he comes back for the second coming, it's going to come back. He's coming back at the level of the bridegroom. So you want to kind of look at the differences between the New Testament Jesus, complete Testament Jesus, and why we, and you'll understand even now why we believe in the Lord's second coming Jesus, which means it's the complete Testament Jesus. And the only reason we recognize him is because of the word we heard, right, from Sons of Eve. So those are the two things that I would definitely look at when it comes to getting out of mass confusion that comes from the Sunday message where there shouldn't be, right? Like everyone needs to calm down, and I want to, especially the first part I told you, study early Christian history, study early history of Providence, what happened in 2007 to 2009, what messages came out at that time, and you'll see it's very, very similar. Okay, so that is the practical word study for today. I hope it's something that you guys will really be able to start actually studying on your own. And like I said at the very beginning, don't just ask questions without studying yourself. Like, if you have a question, think about it. Don't just sit there and say, I don't know this. What does my pastor say? No, you're not going to learn as well unless you yourself go out and actually try to figure out, what does that mean? Oh, does that mean this? Write questions down, write some answers here and there, and then you'll get a much better idea. Like the questions you ask will be much better too. You'll be like, hey, pastor, I was reading about the Holy Son lesson because of this week's message, and it said this. Now, does that mean this? So that's how you make sense of what's happening here today. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes more sense now, kind of thing, right? So that is something I do think a lot of us have to put our brains together and really think about. And if you can't get an answer, it doesn't mean that, oh no, all my fears are true. Oh, everything that we learned in the past is false. Like, don't get to that extent. Just like, oh, that's interesting. You know what? Let's pray about this more. I'm going to go ask some questions to some other pastors and see what they say about this, just so we can grasp it better. And if you do it that way, you're not going to be panicking. You're not going to be freaking out. You're not going to be like, oh my gosh. Like, what does that mean? No, you don't want to freak out. You just want to look at it and say, oh, okay, this is what it's kind of saying. I'm not sure what this means, but let me go figure this out. Let me go ask some other pastor these questions too. All right. So that is the word study for today. I hope it's something that, I really want you guys to start being able to do these things on your own. Study it on your own. Find materials. Find the way to understand it, the repeating history, the cyclical history. And when you do it that way, you're going to be able to learn a lot more things on your own too. Okay? So there it is, guys. That is the practical word study for today. Hope you guys really, really enjoyed that. It's something that helps you guys to put the words into more action or to understand the words much more clearly. All right. So now that that is done, let's get into today's song of choice for today. And this is another Christian, not a Christian singer, but he is someone who is a Christian, who is a singer. His name is Davido he's born in the United States, but he's Nigerian. Songwriter, record producer. He's born in Atlanta, Georgia, but he was raised in Lagos, Nigeria. And he has a great song, and it's called Stand Strong. And of course, because of his Christian roots, he does talk about God too. So I hope you guys will really enjoy this. This is Davido with Stand Strong. And that was Davido from Nigeria with the song Stand Strong. And what gives this song even more that gospel feeling is it's featuring the Sunday service choir. So those of you guys who don't know, Kanye West actually had this Sunday service going on like every Sunday. It started off in his backyard. And then he has this choir called the Sunday Service Choir, and they're featured in this song. So that is Davido from Nigeria. Well, he's originally from the U.S., raised in Lagos, Nigeria, and that song is Stand Strong with the Sunday Service Choir. So it gives that big gospel feel to it too. So let's get into today's final segment today, and it's going to be Provi in the media. And this is something I think is very, very important for us, is to understand kind of a summary of a timeline on the press releases about Sunstein, right? Kind of the significant negative press in the media about Sunstein. And you're going to see that there's a lot of sensationalism and questionable journalism. And there's also been tons of numerous press releases that provide the counter perspective from the point of view of third-party journalists as well as Providence too. So let's kind of get into the timeline all the way from 1999. Right, so 1999, we all know that's the first time when the grave period began. And in 1999, there was a Korean station, SBS, and they instigated and made sexual allegations against Sunstein in a broadcast. And then Sunstein traveled overseas for missionary work during this period as well. And following this first broadcast, overseas news media jumped on the bandwagon and broadcasted sexual allegations against Sunstein. And after these allegations, the CGM sued SBS for its report. However, conflict and confusion among members kind of, went wild during that time, 1999. Okay? So instead of Sunstein going overseas, he was accused of fleeing overseas. However, the sexual assault charges were in fact dismissed by the prosecutors involved, and Sunstein was able to travel overseas lawfully. So you got to know that. People are saying he fled, however, prosecutors involved dismissed it, and Sunstein was able to travel overseas lawfully. Okay? And he returned to Korea several times during his travels and was investigated by the prosecutors about his travels. And in these ways the news broadcasted about Sunstein was different from the facts. So you're already seeing that there's a big difference there during his 1999 times. Okay? Now, in 2001, formal charges were made against Sunstein while he was missionarying overseas. And in 2006, April, SBS issued another broadcast, led again, of course, by the main culprit against Sunstein, the anti-Providence movement, that made new sexual allegations against Sunstein in China. And South Korea put Sunstein on the international wanted list and asked China to extradite him. Now, 2006 April, right, the two people, the alleged victims, undertook a medical examination in a hospital while under Chinese police protection. The examination resulted in finding no traces of sexual assault. So the Korean police hospital did a subsequent check on both of these girls and found no traces of sexual assault. So there you go. So it was he's on the wanted list, but then the two girls went to get examinations in China under police protection and no findings of sexual assault. Then the Korean police hospital did the same thing, and no traces of sexual assault. So the case amounted to nothing in 2006. However, South Korea's extradition request for Sunsim remained. All right. Now, what happens next is you have the imprisonment of Sunsim in China. And this is without trial. And of course, this is China, right? So in 2007, Sunsim was arrested by China based on the extradition request and put him in prison for 10 months without a trial. So obviously, this is, we're talking about a communist country that, there's no trial for it either. So, there's something wrong with this. And in 2008, the Chinese government did not find Sunsim guilty of breaking local laws and released Sunsim in February to be extradited back to Korea to stand charges. Now, he was subsequently tried for 5 charges by 5 different women in 2008. Okay? And one of those women making the charge and she's one of the girls from the 2006 April allegations, so same girl, admitted to fraud and dropped her charge. And she pointed out that the other woman was also committing fraud. And there was no evidence for these 2 women's allegations from the 2006 allegations. But here they are accusing him again. And nevertheless, the judge, making his decision in the face of a negative public opinion because of the media distortions, sentenced Sunsim to 6 years imprisonment in August. He was judged as guilty for 3 out of 5 charges made against him, all of which were based only on verbal evidence. Okay? Now, Sunsim denied all the remaining 3 charges and appealed to the High Court. However, the court held the sentence and added back the charges of the 2 women. Right? So, Sunsim, because he was deemed as unrepentant, so the sentence was increased to 10 years. Right? So in prison, obviously, Sunsim continued to write sermons, letters, pray for province members according to the allowed rules. Right? Now, here's where it gets very interesting because now the third-party reporters report serious issues with the trial. So in 2010, there were a lot of different reporters that were talking about serious issues with the trial in the following articles. Some called for a retrial, but nothing actually. Obviously, nothing. There was no retrial. So on February 7th, in Minjung News, that's the trial that I read a long time ago. Basically, her article was Sunsim's cross, why and from whom and for whom. On February 12th, on News Daily, there was another article that says the truth concealed behind the 10-year sentence of Sunsim, chairman of CGM, Part 1, falsified news report by SBS. February 15th, break news. Sunsim case needs a retrial. There's another person, third party reporter wrote that one. On February 26th, News Daily, they had an article that said the truth concealed behind the 10-year sentence of Sunsim, chairman of CGM, Part 2, right? Talking about Miss Y falsely claimed herself to be a victim of sexual assault by Sunsim, but confessed the truth in court. And then in March 31st, 2010, another article from News Daily says the truth concealed is Part 3, the 20 billion won requested from the leader of the anti-providence organization, right? So already right there are 5 articles that talked about you either need a retrial or there's some problems with this trial and what actually happened, right? Also, in 2010 September, what happens is the Korean court ruled that SBS was biased and relied entirely on the leader of the anti-providence movement, his one-sided report, and then should not have aired the broadcast in 1999. So this is already 11 years later, and they finally said, they shouldn't have done it. However, this ruling was not known to the public. So Sunsim, who was already branded a criminal by public opinion and imprisoned, had continued to suffer because of the media. So the footage aired by SBS in 1999 turned out to be distortions of the original videos crafted by video editing, and the media company had depicted Sunsim as a leader with sexual problems, right, in its broadcast by editing a portion of Sunsim's sermon from 1995, and that was a big one that came out there. So there's all the problems from that first trial. Now, the second wave of media allegations and charges, and this was also dismissed due to no evidence. So in 2011, the media focus on Sunsim waned after his imprisonment in 2008. And out of the blue in 2011, organizations like Anti-JMS began to demand money from CGM for compensation and attacked Sunstein with new charges like sexual assault, terrorism, and other misdemeanors. Now, the same leader of anti-JMS, Mr. Kim, together with a few ex-Providence members, made allegations against Sunstein with the release of an obscene alleged internal video of CGM at a press conference, and this spurred over 10 investigations on Sunstein. Okay? So in 2012, as the investigations were ongoing, third-party reporters reported about the questionable motives of the leader of anti-JMS, Mr. Kim, who placed new charges on Pastor Jung, on Sunstein, right? 2012 March, in the Minjung News, this reported Sunstein follows only Jesus. That's one article. 2012 April, the next month, from Newsmaker is why is CGM back in the spotlight? And then April 5th, another one from News Enjoy says JMS video is a strategy to attack public opinion. And then on June 12, 2012, in the Jeongyeong News, it says, is the issue with Sunstein social or religious? And then also in October of 2012, after conducting 10 investigations, the Korean court eventually dismissed all the charges made against Sunstein in October 2012 because there was no evidence. The obscene video turned out to be edited and pieced together of different footage that caused a misperception that all members were living in ways that are contradictory to their religious life. And the video manipulated two different videos from 2007, a festival event where Sunstein was wearing formal attire, and a second low-resolution video that had nothing to do with Sunstein at all. Right? So in Minjung News, basically they had an article that said controversies about evergreens were also refuted. And then News Enjoy, this article said the final verdict was reported in the following, right? So December 2012, in Jeongyeong News, says all previous cases related to JMS Religious Organization's founder, JMS, dismissed without charge, right? So now the second wave, also same thing, dismissed due to no evidence. Now, 2013, there's a third wave of media allegations, and once again, dismissed due to no evidence. In 2013, just as the media attention on Sunstein began to die again, guess what? Fresh allegations were made against Sunstein for receiving preferential treatment in prison. So the Minister of Justice deemed these allegations as speculations and news reports irresponsible and groundless. So the news reports on this, in 2013, October, from Yuri News says media reports distort Sunstein. In November, it says from Yuri News, speculations about Sunstein untrue. In November 6th of 2013, in Hyundai News, there was the original article. Also in Daejeon City Journal, there's an original article. And then January 13th, MBN News apologizes for defamation and corrects previous article. And then March 16th, 2015, which is obviously the day of the rapture, in the Yonhap News, it says statement retracting its misinformation about Sunstein, right? So there's already a third dismissed due to no evidence. Guess what? Fourth wave of media allegations. 2014, guess who it is from Australia? Peter Daly, who marketed himself as a cult expert, published accusations against Sunstein and CGM on his own website, and additionally, he supplied these allegations to news agencies SBS Australia, which broadcasted this as a one-sided story that was completely without evidence, and other unreliable news medias like the Daily Mail also published Daly's allegations, and this once again tarnished CGM and Sunstein's reputation, and CGM released an official reply in the following video, which was on September 25th. Providence Media released the inside story. 2017, media apologizes and the vindication of the vindication of Sunstein, right? So 2017, June, MBN director apologizes to CGM. And then also in June, TV Chosun apologizes to CGM. In September, in Minjung News, their article was Sunstein cleared second round allegations. And then 2018, July, Peter Daly apologizes to Providence. So you're looking at these fourth wave once again. Everyone is apologizing because, or else if they didn't, they're probably going to be paying a lot of money. Now, guys, if you want to understand this, we're on the fifth wave right now. Once again, fifth wave of allegations against Sunstein, and it was obviously last year on March 16th. Once again, Mr. Kim, the head of Anti-Providence Group, organizes a press conference making baseless allegations against Sunstein again, right? And Mr. Kim previously extorted money and revealed to have questionable personal motives for his crusade, right? Of course, there's news about that, some articles on that. And he recruited 2 ex-members who made sexual allegations that are not based on any evidence, but it's just he said, she said. And then March 30th, 2022, a reporter with news.com.au posted a highly misleading article regarding serious allegations about CGM's Australian churches, right? And that's something that you'd have to probably talk to the Australian church about this. And now we're in the trial. So it's really, really unfortunate and sad. Like, as you start looking at all these, like this time, I'm gonna put this this web page here that talks about the summary of the timeline. But it's so crazy when you look at, we're on the 5th. Like, everything has been proven wrong, and now we're already on the 5th. I don't understand how the courts would actually keep like listening to this Mr. Kim, who was in charge of the anti-JMS cult group, but anti-JMS against Providence group, right? So this is kind of what's been going on, guys. So when you want to know what's going on, it's really, really interesting. It's not what you think. Like, even for a lot of people couldn't figure out, but wasn't Sunstein fleeing overseas, right? However, the sexual assault charges were dismissed by the prosecutors involved. And that's why Sunstein was easily able to travel overseas, right? So you got to understand this. Like, in 1999, it's like, Sunstein, he fled. But you're like, no, because the prosecutors actually dismissed the charges. And that's why he was able to travel overseas lawfully, right? Like, what came later was, like, when he was, like, asked, he was on Interpol, whatever it is. That wasn't even till, like, 2006 or 2007, right? And that's when Sunstein went to China. So we got to get this timeline down really, really good. So I will put this article in the description below so you guys can take a look at this. But it's really, really sad how it's just this same guy doing it over and over again, just trying to find a way to get Sunstein. So for me, I'm gonna leave this in the description below. So go ahead, take a look at that if you need to. All right. So there it is, guys. That's Provi in the media. I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and it kind of gives you more, it opens your eyes to what is actually happening right now, what's happened to Sunstein for the last 25 years, 23, 25, 24, it's already 2023, 24 years like this, right? And a lot of these, I was like, wow, some of these timelines, like, I didn't know that Sunstein was charged during this time either. I didn't know he was charged during this time in 2013. I didn't know there's a 4th wave in 2004. Hey, wait a second, right? And a lot of times I didn't even know, like, when I was reading some of these things, all right? So I'll leave that in the link below so you guys can take a look at yourselves too. All right, so there it is, guys. That is Provi in the media. Hope you guys really enjoyed that. It's something that you guys can gain a lot from and just see how crazy and ludicrous it really is. All right. So there it is, guys. That is the end of, that's the last segment for today. Hope you guys really enjoyed that. Have an amazing and awesome Tuesday. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in comments below. I'd love to hear it. Everyone have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow on the Morning Star Drive on 117.8.
It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and feel your mind.
I'm burning with desire and the passion. Nobody can stop me when